Tough Flicks, the movie review chat from the Tuffington Post.
Dead Ringers. Wow.
Yeah, what was that about?
I didn't watch it.
Oh, right.
I watched it. Please.
You just killed the Oni.
No, I didn't. I caught the mad guy, the madman with the gun. I took him
Yeah.
alive. And then Jubei was like, I'm gonna ask him some questions.
Bad boy.
Yes, Matt Goro.
Yeah, he's always up to tricks.
So we'll see what he's up to soon. So okay, so Sam, this was your flick. Why don't you explain why you picked it?
Well, I think this is the last of my backlog of artsy fartsy movies that were related to famous directors I had from last year. And the only difference with that is this was supposed to be David Cronenberg's one of his, big critical hits. Definitely not much of a box office hit, though. It only made $1 million more than it cost. So, say what you will there. But it's lived on, and nope, Siri, do not... I wasn't talking to you.
The movie was about a box office, if you know what I'm saying.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Gynecologists, like,
Oh, yeah, I think we all got it. Yep. Thanks, John.
AI will explain it.
And I, before I had actually decided to keep it, I had watched another David Cronenberg movie that was more recent, which I didn't think was very good, but was I could see was okay, this guy's got some sci-fi proby ideas about what human nature is and psychological stuff where people go crazy. And I actually didn't know that's what this movie was about, but boy, by the end of it, I sure understood it to be exactly that. People going crazy. So I guess I'll just say I found Dead Ringers, which John already let off, is about two, identical twins that are interested in the same stuff as the young kids. It's the very first scene is woohoo, we're little boys that love to look at the insides of a human, and then they somehow flash forward and they're gynecologists doing fertility stuff, which was didn't go through that too much personally, but we were starting to go down that road, so it was so this is the 80s version of something that I experienced in the past couple of years. I will say, I think this was a very soft-spoken movie, and I didn't have subtitles, so I gotta say, it was kind of a hard fucking watch when I didn't understand what the hell was going on half the time, because Jeremy Irons, who I think is awesome, and I enjoy watching him on screen. I enjoyed him doing the double thing. I just saw Sinners last year, and I thought Michael B. Jordan did a pretty good job of that, so it's always fun to see good actors try to do that test where they try to balance out being two distinct people on screen. But it was pretty friggin' hard for me to tell who was who in the beginning. And I think that's actually probably was part of the point. They kind of start out in a similar vibe when they're, doing their little ploy to seduce women and all that weird stuff that, sharing sex without telling their consent, which is, rape. That'll be a highlight. I think as the movie finally got going, it was okay, now you're starting to as they basically, Beverly starts going a little nuts. That's when I was so that's who Elliot is, and that's who Beverly is. And then obviously one goes off with the actress for a while, that Beverly. But then, yeah, I was very confused by the end. I actually started rewatching earlier today when the family was napping, because I was I think I missed something in the beginning, and then just rewatching it absolutely helped clarify to me why they were interested in the things they were interested in, why they went into the careers they were doing, why they had their little room where they're like, oh, we came up with these new tools. Like I didn't realize like they made like that invention or whatever, gold plated gynecological tool, um, which is kind of the whole point of the movie. So you could say that I was lost. I'll put it that way. But then I started enjoying it anyway, even though I didn't know what was going on. I'll stop there because I didn't know what the fuck was happening. But I'm glad I watched it. Yeah. Does anyone else know what happened? Because I would love to hear some help on that front.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sounds like
Just a kind of a descent into madness sort of movie. Mad science story in a more art house aesthetic. I did leave with questions. I agree. I just want to latch on to your point about it being very difficult to tell the difference between Ellie and Bev early on, but then later on in the movie, it was like so clear. So I think a lot of credit goes to Jeremy Irons there for just being able to inhabit two different characters so clearly after you like kind of got your bearings in the story. And like you kind of start off thinking that Elliot is the bad one. He's like more the showman and like the extrovert and like the narcissist and the kind of the Steve Jobs to the Wozniak. And then it's just like Beverly is just such a shit show and like becomes a drug addict, and the two of them just start like plummeting together. Yeah,
It reminded me of you ever read that book in elementary school, Where the Red Fern Grows? It's like
Yeah, I did.
those two bloodhounds, and then one dies, and then the other one's like basically dies shortly thereafter. Is like they couldn't be separated, and there was a couple takeaways I got. One of them was as soon as like a woman actually wanted just Beverly, the actress lady, forgetting her name now.
there's
Claire.
Yeah, something
he was in Star Trek.
Claire, yes.
It was in Star Trek.
Claire. She was in
Next
Next
Generation?
Generation, I think.
Genevieve Bourgeois.
She looked very familiar, but I
She did.
couldn't peg her
Yeah.
like Bev.
Oh, right. Well, it seemed like he was gonna die too, right? It was like, oh, Bev's dead. Like he's out there not doing so hot, and he passes out on the patio. It's like, okay, well, that's a wrap. And then the movie just like took like another gear after that, and how Elliot like ended up being the one that you know gets killed was I'm still processing. I like
I think I can help you.
please.
I watched this movie with headphones on, my big fancy ones here, my Audio Technica fucking big fancy headphones. And I just want to start off by saying I fucking love this movie. Phenomenal fucking movie. I fucking loved it. Never once was I confused. I was confused a little bit in the middle with the separation of who was Bev, who was Ellie. Uh, Obviously intentional by Cronenberg because they mentioned several times in the movie, no one can tell you two apart. I laughed out loud when they met met the girl at the bar, and then
You confused
uh,
them?
no, he was like, actually, I fucked you first, and I thought you were fucking boring. I laughed like out loud because she was like, "Did you fuck me?" It was funny. Towards like the end, I kind of had like a gasp moment where I was like, "Oh fuck, are they like the same person and they're not actually twins and this is a whole like schizophrenic episode and he thinks he's two different people, but he's actually like a Patrick Bateman kind of thing?" But that was not the case. It's up for interpretation, but I saw that this is a true story, based off a true story, which is what the book is based off of. So I got to look into that more. Maybe I'll pull it up before we hang up. But so yeah, so like first they were obsessed with sex as children for some reason, like creepily, and then they became gynecologists, and then Ellie finds this actress who's got 3 fucking uterus entrances or something like that. She's a mutant. She's like super rare. So he falls in love with her like medical side of things, and then has Bev fuck her, and then because Ellie's the one who is like the face of the business, and Bev is the one who does all the research. He was like, Bev, you got to go like research this bitch because like I fucked her, she was okay, but you got to go examine her. And then he fell in love with the fact that she was like super rare and like they're super creepy with their medical cadaver stuff. So that was why he fell in love with her. Um, but Ellie just wanted to go keep doing other stuff. So that was like the obsession there. And then yeah, she was taking drugs and he started taking Bev started taking drugs, and then Bev took too many drugs and Ellie was like, I gotta find out what's going on in his head, so I'm gonna take drugs. And then they fucking like came together like this. And they talked about the Siamese twins, like Chang and Ang or something like that. So
Mhm.
they were like obsessed with that from a young age. And then just like I guess where the red fern grows, interesting comparison, but like he like Bev kills Ellie because they're Siamese twins, or they think they're in like a drug rattled state, so they have no idea what's reality. So like Bev kills Ellie because they need to separate themselves from being Siamese twins, which they're not. And it was just like drug induced and super metaphorical. And then I think Bev dies at the end. His eyes are open, so it's like open for interpretation once again. But I think that they're both dead at the end of the movie. That's how I interpret it. Um, but like Jeremy Irons, say again? Yeah, for sure. So yeah, Ellie got fucking cut open and died, and then Bev overdosed. That's how I looked at it. Um, but like Jeremy Irons was pretty much the only actor in like 2/3 of the whole fucking movie. So him acting alone, essentially, like Ian McKellen in Lord of the Rings, just acting like by himself and shit. It's like
Yeah,
he was yeah, with the Hobbit, yeah. So he's like so fucking good. Like Jeremy Irons acting against himself, and then later on, because he played like the straight man, and then he played the drug addict, and then he played both at the end. So I think his acting was like, I don't know how he didn't get an Academy Award for this, but he got one. I saw that he got one the next year for Best Actor, and he thanked Cronenberg in his speech. So it was kind of like a people don't think that this movie was popular enough and was too like too not mainstream for him to get an award for it, but he was like phenomenal. There was a couple
Okay.
times when he like would yell or get angry, and he sounded like Scar, because he is. But he said like that's my brother, and like shoved that bitch off to the side when he passed out, and she was
Yeah.
like, "Ow, my head." I was like, that was fucking Lion King right there. Um, so I really, really just I love this movie. I needed a hug at the end, for sure. It was like, and
That was
yeah,
helpful.
I got more to say, but please.
Yeah, no, well the you put together the I think the part that I didn't understand was the drug addiction. Like I remember when was it Beverly is like reaching into like one of the drawers be like, ah, give me them drugs. But like I didn't like really put it together that it all stemmed from Claire, who was
Yeah,
already on. So
yeah, like
that
this
makes
one
more
woman
sense.
destroyed their brotherly relationship, and she was their obsession. She was the 3 uteri, so that's how Bev became so obsessed with her, and that's like their entire life was based around gynecology, essentially. So it makes sense that like someone like that would tear them apart.
Yeah. So they're descending into madness. This woman kind of like breaks up their little like, brotherly bond. And then they start just going crazy, commissioning the artist, right, to make
Oh
those
yeah,
freaky thing, like the instruments that should never be put in a body, and
yeah.
then like the whole team is like, what the fuck is this?
I was
Uh,
I was
and
waiting
then,
for it to turn into a Cronenberg movie, and then it did.
yeah,
Yeah.
which now I understand. Like that's oh, it was like that's the horror was like the last third was the horror
Yeah,
part
yeah,
of that. Before that, you're like it's more of a it's missed that was the mystery part, and it's like building up like what's going to happen with these two brothers, and we've been given all these signs of like the tools that look like weaponry beforehand. You're like, that's a freaky looking thing. And then, sure enough, it ends with Elliot getting a giant cavity put in his chest, or other way around, dug into his cavity. Real cute there. But yeah, because for me, you mentioned also like Jeremy Irons being like 2/3 of the movie, of the dialogue.
Yeah.
I did have some notes about like how the setting just kind of forced you to pay like really focus on him too. Like this is an 80s movie, right? So and like 80s, we watched They Live, which I'm pretty sure was another 80s movie.
Yeah, I think so.
There was that showed like more of like I want to say like marble on the inside of homes and stuff, but like the carpet, like think of like how sterile everything was.
Aesthetic.
Like everything was muted colors, brutalist, I guess is one of the words for that. Not a lot of decor, right? Like you were describing the scene where Elliot shoves that other woman, and I really don't remember her name, like to get off his brother. That's my brother. Like that place was like so clean, and like it looked like no one really lived there. But all that is to say is like, oh, that's boring. We're just gonna focus on Jeremy Irons, and then I kind of was like, okay, I kind of see like what they're doing here. Like they want you to really think about, or Cronenberg probably was like, you need to just pay attention to Jeremy Irons because everything else, it doesn't matter. And it's also like what they're about. They're doctors, right? The most color you see is red, as John pointed out, and it I know this will ruffle some John Rosin feathers, but do you think Rian Johnson got some pointers from this movie for Last Jedi? Because I thought I saw in a little gynecological theater room, if you like, it was like, they're all in red, surrounded by like with the patient in the middle. Just made me think of what's his name, Snoop.
Yeah, Snoke, the throne room fight when Rey and Kylo fight all the royal guards. They're all wearing red. Yeah.
The acclaimed or not so acclaimed scene, depending on who you talk to.
It was a spectacle for the eyes.
Yeah, I really.
Not for the brain.
But I enjoyed that. It was like such a bland movie in terms of like colors, and then they just had like eye-popping moments.
Yes.
Time to pay attention. Got it.
And then you mentioned the cleanliness of the apartment at the beginning, and then I guess like the descent into madness is very fucking dirty at the end.
Yeah.
And they're eating the cake. I'm like, oh, like, oh, can we have some ice cream? He was like, yeah, that was super spooky. Yeah, that's when I thought it was gonna be like a they're the same person reveal, but that was just sad. Like the end of the movie was so fucking sad. Yeah.
What was this? Oh, I noticed how gross it was. By the way, like the actual procedures of what they're doing. They're just like showing you the innards.
Yeah.
Like, get in there.
Yeah.
I think that's like what Cronenberg's also known for, is like, what is it called? The body. There's a term. Yeah.
Body horror.
I don't know if I don't think he's like the person that created that genre, but I could see, why he's considered one of like the greats for it.
He's made a lot of gory movies. I was expecting more gore, and maybe that's just on me, but there was the nightmare scene where he's literally that was the most like graphic horror scene. And I thought like they were gonna literally make themselves into Siamese twins. That's what I kept waiting for.
At the end when he like cut him open and then he woke up, like, where Ellie? I thought they were gonna be attached.
Yeah, me too.
For like a half second there. But that was that when she bit the Siamese part of them or whatever in the nightmare. I was like, okay, I forgot this was a Cronenberg movie for a second there, but he's definitely known for that shit. But it wasn't like it didn't like steal the show, the gore. It was kind of there as like a salt on a dish, just like a super nice taste. It wasn't like this is the focus, which I really appreciated. Yeah, I was expecting more, and I'm glad that it wasn't as bad as something else. Yeah.
that just reminded me of something, and I forgot to write it down, but I remember watching it. There's a scene where earlier on in the movie where I think it's Beverly is like sitting at home with a glass of wine watching TV eating dinner. And it looks like he's eating a piece of pizza, but I remember looking at it, I was like, that's a weird shape for a piece of pizza.
I noticed that.
That nightmare scene where you were talking about Claire taking a bite out of whatever was connecting them, it looked like, it was like, wait a minute. I think he was eating, I mean, go back and watch it if you will. Tell me if I'm crazy, but I thought that little connective, like whatever that thing was that she took a bite of, looked a lot like what Beverly was eating in that scene, or like in the beginning of the movie, and I was like,
I'll pull it up right now.
Is David up to some tricks here?
Yeah, I did notice that pizza looked very weird. Because at first, it was like,
Yeah,
looking pizza, and I took a closer look. It's like weird looking
No,
pizza.
no.
Is that what they do in Toronto? Because I don't know. I've never been to Toronto.
it's just the 80s. They didn't have like microwavable food looking that good back then.
Right.
I gotta say, I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it a hell of a lot more than Inland Empire.
Yeah, I
last
understood the movie.
poor pick. This was definitely a better older movie. So at least it's inspired me to like continue trying to, go look for movies that I would have had no thought of watching before.
Yeah.
So yeah,
You've been taking us down a rabbit hole into a madness with your last couple picks.
yeah, maybe I do need like a sanity check myself, before I feel like three's a crowd. So gotta stop that. Pick like Lion King or
It's
something.
just like oddly shaped pizza, like they cut it weird.
Oh, you found it? Okay.
Yeah,
I wonder if that's something that they just like came up with on set for the shot. They're like, oh, that's
Yeah.
weird. Let's go with
It
it.
just seemed more like an Easter egg to me. I was like, did they mean to like just make you like, ooh, like that's a weird? They're like, eating weird shit. Um, Although I did like the TV on the table too, just as like a setting, because we don't do that today.
Oh, I like that
Yeah.
weird. It had like a bunch of weird buttons on it, and I was like, that's like interesting tech. From,
yeah, fancy.
looking back.
Yeah, it's like definitely like upper class 80s technology
Yeah, right.
stuff. Let's go back to that.
What? So like we've done some philosophical movies here that explore like what it means to be human. I think of Ghost in the Shell, but I like this was a little more niche. It's like what is the psychology of identical twins? And it's like that's not something I've ever really spent time to think about in my life, really. So I was like brought into a new question, and not to pat ourselves on the back too much, but it kind of reminded me what we tried to do with Party of One, where it's like, how do you enter the mind of someone with chronic migraine and someone who doesn't know what it's like? And so this was like, oh, I'm gonna experience what it's like to be an identical twin a little bit and see like look at the dark side of it.
Yeah, they had like I don't know if it was an obviously it was an unhealthy relationship, but yeah, they were obsessed with each other and like genuinely cared about each other. I thought Ellie was gonna try to kill Bev at some point and be like, "You're bringing me down," but then it was all love. Like every time they were together was like love. There was never like any ill will towards each other. Like even at the very end, he was like, He was like, "I gotta keep Bev alive because he's the brains, right? And I'm the sex appeal." So then even himself started taking drugs to be like his brother. So yeah, it was very good, and I'm glad it was like they didn't pick like a second actor or something, you know?
Yeah, because like the only other thing I can think of, like, Sam mentioned Sinners, but I was thinking of like Parent Trap with Lindsay Lohan. It's like I don't know if
Yeah,
there's got to be a decent pantheon of this sort of role, but Jeremy's probably near the top, I'm sure.
definitely probably the best identical twin movie acting, and the
Right, because
technology back
Sinners
then.
go off, and there isn't a whole lot of it.
The technology back then too wasn't like at that point. I think this was like groundbreaking tech for having him in the same shot with himself in the 80s. I think I read that somewhere. Um,
I was wondering how they did it, how they accomplished it, which
Lay
I
the film on
yeah.
top of each other. I don't know.
I don't know. But at no point did I maybe for the first 5 minutes, I was like looking at the back of the stunt double's head and being like, "That's not him." But then
Yeah.
I never once like throughout the movie thought that's not two different people. You know, like
Well,
because Jeremy Irons is such a good actor.
that exact scene is I had the same thought, and that was the last time I like thought about it. Like, oh, that's not Jeremy Irons.
Yeah,
Like
because
that's not Irons. Like,
because in
but it's like they just included that. I don't know. Maybe it was just to like almost like telling the audience, like, oh, we're trying to show you, like, we know that you know is the same friggin' actor. Um, but like to me, that was I just felt like I was being onboarded onto the movie for that period, and then it's like really once the horror starts, I feel like everything kind of clicked in, um, which which is why I had so much confusion up front, and that's why I started to rewatch it. Was like, what the hell was like? Oh,
yeah.
that took off. What happened in the beginning again? Oh yeah, they were
Hmm.
kids like, and then like John said, they started like asking that girl about fucking, and she's like, you don't know fuck about fuck or
Yeah,
whatever.
like 10
And
seconds into the movie.
like that was the intro, and that's kind of defined everything that happened. Was relationship with a woman didn't go over well, clearly didn't go over so great.
Hmm. Well, it did for a while there until they met their match.
Oh, by the way, the guy that when Beverly's going mad, he calls up that guy that he thinks is
Yeah, the gay
having
dude.
sex with her,
Yeah.
but he's not, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, he was just her assistant.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked like he had no. He was like, what?
Hollywood, yeah, guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he called looking for her, and the mail picked up, and he just like assumed the worst, and that made him turn a corner.
Sweet, sensitive Beverly, just who doesn't know the world. Needs
Yeah,
his
and he
brother.
was at the very beginning. Ellie was like, "You'd be a virgin if I didn't make you fuck those women that I fucked." So
Yeah.
Bev was definitely like the introvert of the two. So
Yeah.
finding
And
a woman like that fucked him up even more because of that.
I think Claire liked him a bit for his because he's more sensitive and open, but also maybe a little easier to twist and manipulate.
Hmm.
So it's like a bit of like a tug of war over Beverly.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
yeah, and
Yeah.
that's like what John was saying, like how they're never like fighting each other. That's like that was almost like a bait and switch too for me. It was like, oh, I thought Elliot was gonna be like somewhat jealous that oh Beverly's getting the relationship, but he's not. It's Claire who ends up uh, being the one that's taking more of the advantage uh, between them. And yeah, I kind of appreciate that. Like I don't know, it subverted my expectations. I guess a lot of times this movie, like that relationship, how that played out, uh, was not where I thought it was going. Um, but also was that like her revenge for being like, you guys both fucked me and didn't tell me, and that's
No, I think she was genuinely infatuated with Bev and cared about him. Because even after 10 weeks of filming, she came back and was like, "You never called."
that's right. That's true. That which is the madness
Mm.
because
He was like on the
yeah,
ground, like in his own, covered in his own vomit or like fucking TV dinners. Yeah,
TV dinners. What are those? Does anyone eat those anymore?
kid cuisine.
Yeah, lean
I
cuisine.
used to eat a lot of was
Stouffer's.
no what's like the super manly man branded frozen.
Hamburger.
No,
No.
Sean knows. He's
Still has
laughing.
steak in it.
Yeah, yeah. It wasn't like Stouffer's. It was like man meal. I don't fucking.
Man meal.
I can find
It's
this.
like Alex Jones's Patriot.
Yeah, man meal. Yeah, hang on.
What was
I
that
can
stuff
find
he
this.
made?
Hungry?
Hungry man. Thank you. In college, like, yeah, I'm a fucking man. I'm gonna get this hungry man. Like 200% daily sodium.
Uh, yeah, I just ate Campbell's soups and Annie's mac and cheese, and
Ooh, I
also the
love
same
Annie's.
deal.
Too.
Oh, God. No.
No, great. That's gonna be on the AI overview now.
Yeah, this yeah, it's
It's
all
always
getting
grown when Sean mentioned tuna mac, his favorite meal. It's gonna like go back in your history.
yeah. When people search for Sean Fralick, that'll be the thing that pops up. How
The
an AI.
inventor of tuna mac.
Oh, When we meal prep, we'll just do like a ground turkey bolognese, and we'll have that for dinner for a few nights.
Ground turkey is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. By the way, Sean, I like this. What is this? A shawl that you're wearing? What is?
The blankie.
Oh, it's a blankie. You know.
Yeah, it's a little.
You look like an astute
blankie.
Jeremy Irons, like you're.
With
you're
the scarf.
looking like a nice, fancy man that went to the theater and watched this cinema.
Here, I can do it too.
Oh, I'm jealous. I wanted that.
Sam, where's your blankie?
I got one. Oh, dang it.
Oh, he's got tassels. It's
I
way
do
too
got
hot for this.
I kind of feel like I'm. Oh, nice. That looks like a robe.
Wow.
You look like you're in Ghost of Yotai.
I fucking I was like, yeah, put on your head. Wait, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like the robes, the kimono that I just wore in.
Well, thank you for coming. These
What,
bandits, they took all my things.
Who says that?
Like
Fucking
playing a little
everyone.
Flicky game.
They took everything
Doesn't make
from me.
want to have some sake. It makes me want to have some sake.
I almost got sake tonight.
Yeah.
In that 1 hour between the call times, I was like, maybe I should get a little sake.
There's so many different kinds.
All right, hard to choose. I'll be able to smoke on our next call, so that'll be nice.
Welcome back.
Yeah, opening day is almost here. Opening day.
Oh, was that your time frame?
The opening day was kind of the deadline. It'll be like Christmas.
You take an edible. Just like.
I was thinking of starting off with a joint because that'll be a little less likely to take a big hit right away.
Yeah. Ooh.
Sounds more enjoyable.
Yeah.
I think you got the right idea. Yeah, I didn't take anything when I watched this. I was trying to be
lucid.
Didn't even have a beer. I was trying to be focused on my Dead Ringers.
I watched in 30-minute chunks. It was on the Roku app for free. I just watched a half hour before bed a few nights. Broke it up because it is like a dense movie, I think.
Yeah, it's 2 hours long, but I never once felt the runtime at all.
I was excited to see what was going to happen next.
I was genuinely just like, I said it like all one sitting, just right here. Usually I've got like something on my laptop or like take a break, but I was just fucking, and I was locked in.
Yeah, I mean, I said like the setting was boring. I thought this was going to be a sleeper of a movie, and I was planning on watching it in like a first half, second half, but like it just kind of gave me enough breadcrumbs where I was like, what is going to happen? And then it was fun. So that's my appreciation for this movie, is it like kept me, it did all the world building, it set up the characters, and then it was like, oh, that's what's in Cronenberg's mind. He's a crazy fool.
Yeah, Jeremy Irons, like the definitive role.
Yeah,
outside of Lion King.
Yeah, I think Jeremy Irons was probably like one of the big reasons why I kept it on the list, because I know like he's a great actor. We saw him in Inland Empire, and it was like he actually is one of the things I liked about that movie. And I've liked him in the recent,
probably the only thing.
Watchmen. What is he in? One of those things. Is that right?
The Klansman, Kingsman.
The TV show, maybe.
Die Hard 3. He's the villain.
Oh wait, what am I thinking?
Kingsman.
No, Klansman. Kingsman's one of those Brian McIver movies.
He's Alfred in the Zack Snyder version.
Yeah. That's what you're thinking of, the Ben Affleck Batman. It's your favorite. Jeremy Irons is Alfred.
No, I'm gonna find it now.
I can't believe you didn't remember.
Okay, maybe it's not Watchmen.
Maybe now that Paramount owns HBO, they'll bring back the Snyderverse.
That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He's in Watchmen, the TV show, not the movie.
Oh,
Snyder,
which is very good if you've never seen it. Roger Ebert only gave this movie 2.5 stars.
Get off your high horse. He didn't understand it.
Well, he said it's like a collaboration between med school and a supermarket tabloid.
That's interesting.
What does that mean?
I don't know. downgraded that to tabloid. Well, because I think as tabloid, it's like alien woman gives birth to alien on the front page of
Woman
like
had 3 uteruses. Yeah.
yeah, right.
I want to see who this bitch is.
It's
Star
a
Trek.
top 10, top 50, top 100 horror movie of all time. And it's in all those categories.
I've seen a bunch of Cronenberg movies. It's probably the best one. I really like Eastern Promises. That's a turn of the century one with Viggo Mortensen as like a Russian.
Yeah.
That movie's
Wait,
really
he did that one? Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know that. That one that feels very different than
Yeah.
I haven't watched it in 20 years, but
That has that iconic fight scene in the men's bathhouse. Viggo's naked. Yeah, check that one out. It's pretty good down there.
that's a good one.
I'll throw that on the list.
I actually I got that DVD around here somewhere. I found it at the Goodwill. I was like, I'll get one of them.
I think Roger
I'll get
Deakins
some
shot that one too. It's great cinematography.
I don't know who.
But she was in Star Trek Voyager.
Oh,
Is that the bad one?
That's why I don't know who she is. I've only
Oh.
seen TNG and the TOS. Sorry, the original series.
Yes. Fair
Oh,
enough.
Jeremy Irons did win Best Actor for this for
Some
Some-
other.
yeah,
You sure
not
about that? What? Kids' Choice Awards.
Chicago. Yeah, for the kids. Chicago Film Critics Association. I can't
Oh, but
imagine.
isn't Roger Ebert on that? You'd think. He's a
You
Chicagoan.
would think
Maybe it came,
they overrode his veto.
Not enough
or it was a
tits.
weak year and he just floated to the top.
All right. Anyway,
John, did you like
Good
this
show.
movie?
Howard
like
Shore?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. I really thought that his score was gripping. From the opening credits, I was like, okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
played it listened to it on YouTube afterwards because, like, sorry, I didn't know Howard Shore. I didn't know the name. I didn't know he did Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it was
all
a
I know him for.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I mean, and this now. Very subtle, like, just good score. Very good.
Hmm.
Good. It was great. All right, so Sam, what would you give this movie?
well, now that I understand it more, thanks to you boys, I'm going to go up from a 70 to 78. Oh, wow.
I don't know if we're in the same ballpark here.
We're definitely Sean.
I thought it was great. I thought it was gripping. I thought it was great performances, great score, creepy, asks very interesting questions.
And you said Jenna put her ass on the couch for this one.
Yeah, most of the time she doesn't care to pay attention to these movies, but she paid
She
attention.
saw Jeremy Irons and was like,
Yeah, she's into him. I think she appreciates his demeanor, so to
His-
speak.
his draw.
I'll give it an 88. I think it was very good.
Yeah, took me by surprise. I love Jeremy Irons. I wish he had. I'm not gonna go watch his filmography or nothing like that, but like, he was phenomenal. I've said everything I was gonna say about this movie. Give it a 90. Yeah, I liked it better than It Happened One Night. And I haven't given anything a 9-0 yet. So I think that this and Ghost in the Shell will be my 90s plus movies.
Okay.
It was just great. Like I really felt like emotionally impacted at the end of it. Like just from start to finish, I was fucking sold. I just thought it was phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
It was great. Really liked it.
I'm still processing it. I could see this being a movie I change my score on at some point, but I actually think I want to rewatch it.
Yeah, throw some
Which I
headphones
started
on.
to. I watched the first 30 minutes earlier today just to be like, that's where I was talking from. And that helped. And but I'm keeping it at 78 because I was confused. And
at some point, like at one point in the movie, I was like, I don't know what the fucking plot is. Like I really don't understand why I'm watching this movie, but I was still watching it.